The Blues Brothers had been on my to-watch list for quite a while, and as I'm coming towards my list of Carrie Fisher films that I need to watch, I thought it was about time that I gave it a go. And for me, it's a film of two halves. To begin with, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it. It took some time for me to get into it. But about the halfway mark, I felt like it reached a turning point, and it actually became quite entertaining and something that I actually genuinely enjoyed. Having said that, there were still funny moments in the first half. It just took me a long time to become emotionally invested in the narrative. So this was released, of course, in 1980, and it kind of feels a little bit older, to be honest. It does feel like a 70s film, and I assume it was filmed in the 70s. So that's not really the fault of the film at all, but it just feels a little bit more dated than I had perhaps expected. But that's just me not paying attention to the dates and things. Directed by John Landis, written by Dan Aykroyd and John Landis, and stars the brilliant comedic duo in this, Dan Aykroyd as Elwood Blues and John Belushi as Joliet Jake Blues, the Blues Brothers. We also have fantastic supporting cast. John Candy is in this, Calloway, Frank Oz, obviously Carrie Fisher. Her character is called Mystery Woman, and she is very mysterious. She's not in it as much as I would have liked, but she's still in it. Well, she's in it. I'll put it that way. She is in it. Not a massive amount, but that's absolutely fine. So Jake goes to pick up his brother. Other way on. Elwood picks up his brother from prison after he's just been released from prison. And it turns out that the home where they grew up in, the Catholic home, is actually about to be closed down. There's not enough money to keep it going, so they find a way to come up with money. And all I will say is it involves their old R&B band and some interesting music, but they are also outrunning the police the entire time. And there's a really weird car chase, a really, really well filmed car chase that's quite dramatic. And there were a lot of things in this that I thought were very well shot, most of them involving cars. There's one where a car just, I don't want to spoil it, but this car just drops vertically, and it's just fabulous to watch. It's really, really well done. This is where somebody tells me it was a model car against a green screen and they superimposed it. I don't believe that's the case, but you never know. If that is the case, it looks brilliant. I was really impressed with the actual filming of it. The directing's absolutely fantastic. There's also a scene involving Elwood's house, where he lives, where he takes Jake back to, and what happens there, and a pile of bricks, and I just thought it was very funny. These were that was in the first half, when I kind of thought it was not a very interesting narrative, but it was still quite comedic. And then once they go to the diner, it kind of picks up a little bit more, and I thought it became really entertaining and a lot of fun. And there's some fantastic music in this, and some brilliant performances that are quite well choreographed. We get to have quite a lot of different locations, but I think the reason it works, well, there are two reasons why it worked for me. One, it is funny. It genuinely is funny. But also the Blues Brothers themselves have a really interesting personality. They work really well together. I definitely prefer Elwood. Or do I? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, I'm not so sure which character is my favourite. There's a car outside, a police car. I assume they're not after the Blues Brothers. I think that it's nothing like what I was expecting. Don't necessarily know what I was expecting, but it is genuinely funny, quirky, interesting, quite creative, well written, brilliantly acted, unexpected. I think unexpected is the best word to describe this. Expect the unexpected. Don't think you will know what kind of comedy you will get from this, because I can assure you it will probably be beyond what you can imagine. That sounded really rude. You know what I mean? It's unpredictable in a really fun way. I really enjoyed it. The second half, definitely, once it kicked in, I thought this is great. The first half, still quite funny. Brilliantly acted. I'm glad I've seen it. I don't think I'd watch it again. Not all the way through. But I might watch bits and pieces of it now and then. The Blues Brothers is never going to be one of my favourites, but I have to say, I can see why it's popular. I definitely thought it was good.